Have you ever lost someone you thought would be in your life forever? Not to death, but to distance. A friendship that slowly faded. A relationship that ended without a clear reason. Someone you prayed for, invested in, and loved, who is no longer there. And you've asked God the same question over and over. Why? Did I do something wrong? Did I not fight hard enough? Was there something I should have said or done differently? If that's where you are today, I want you to hear this. Not every exit is a loss. Sometimes God removes people from your life, not because you failed, but because He is protecting your future. There are relationships God allows to remain, and there are relationships God removes. And learning to tell the difference is one of the most important things you will ever learn as a believer. Today, we're going to talk about why God removes certain people from your life, and what He is rebuilding in the space they leave behind. This is not about bitterness. It's not about blame. It's about understanding the seasons of relationships and trusting the God who orders them. By the end of this message, you'll see the empty chair differently, not as a wound, but as a window. Number 1. Some relationships were never meant to travel with you. This is hard to hear, but it's the truth. Not every person who walks into your life is meant to walk the whole journey with you. Some people are sent for a season. They help you grow. They teach you something. They walk with you through a specific chapter. And when that chapter closes, the relationship naturally ends. It doesn't mean it failed. It means it finished. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to plant, and a time to uproot." Some people are planted in your life to remain. Others are planted to help you grow roots, and then they're gone. The enemy wants you to grieve every ending like a failure. He wants you to believe that if a relationship ended, you must have done something wrong. But endings are not always errors. The branch that's pruned from the vine was not rejected. It had already produced its fruit. God removed certain people from your life because their season with you was complete. And holding on to a finished season only delays the next one. Let the chapter close without guilt. What ended was not your whole story. It was one part of it. Number 2. Some people were blocking the path God was preparing. Here's a truth that's hard to receive. Sometimes God removes a person, not because they were bad, but because they were in the way. Not in a cruel sense, in a redirection sense. There are people who love you, who mean well, but whose presence in your life would keep you from what God has called you to. Maybe they were comfortable, and God needed you uncomfortable. Maybe they were safe, and God needed you to step out. Maybe their vision for your life was smaller than God's vision for your life. Genesis 12:1 says, "Now the Lord said to Abram, 'Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you.'" Notice what God asked Abram to do. Leave. Leave your country. Leave your family. Leave everything familiar. Not because his family was evil, because his calling required a separation. The enemy wants you to believe that distance always means disconnection from God. But sometimes, distance is the very thing God uses to draw you closer to Him. When God removed certain people from your life, He may have been clearing the road you couldn't yet see. The people He removes are often the ones who would have held you back from the very thing He's preparing. Trust the removal. The empty space is not empty. It's a corridor. Think of Israel in the wilderness. God didn't lead them around the desert. He led them through it, day by day. Pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. The path looked empty to everyone else, but it was the exact route to the promise. Number 3. Some people were teaching you a lesson, and the lesson is over. This is one of the most painful truths, and one of the most freeing. Some people enter your life to teach you something you could not learn any other way. They show you what you're willing to tolerate. They show you where your boundaries are weak. They show you patterns you need to break. They may have hurt you, and in that hurt, God taught you discernment. But once the lesson is learned, the teacher often leaves. It sounds harsh, but it's how growth works. Proverbs 27:17 says, "Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another." Sharpening is not always comfortable. It's friction, it's pressure, it's two edges meeting. And when the sharpening is done, The tool is ready for something new. The enemy wants you to keep circling back to the relationship that hurt you. He wants you to rehearse the conversations, replay the wounds, and stay stuck in the lesson instead of moving into the next chapter. But God doesn't want you to live in the classroom forever. The relationship ended because you graduated, not because you failed. Take what you learned, forgive what was done, and walk forward without carrying the classroom with you. The lesson was the gift. The ending was the graduation. Number 4. God was protecting you from what you couldn't see. This is the one that often only makes sense later. When God removes someone from your life, you usually can't see why at the moment. The person seemed good. The friendship seemed fine. The relationship seemed like it was going somewhere. But God sees what you can't see. He sees the heart that hasn't revealed itself yet. He sees the path that person would have led you down. He sees the compromise, the distraction, the destruction forming underneath the surface. Psalm 91:11 says, "For he will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways." Guard you. That's what removal is sometimes. It's guarding. The enemy wants you to believe that God took something good from you. But the enemy is the one who wanted you attached to it. There are people God removed from your life who would have cost you your peace, your purpose, or your faith if they had stayed. You may never know the disaster you were spared. That's okay. You don't have to understand every removal to be grateful for it. Some of God's greatest protection looks like loss from the outside, but from the inside, it's deliverance. Thank Him for the people He kept away. Thank Him for the doors He closed. Some of the best things God has ever done for you, you never even saw. The accident you never had. The betrayal you were never close to. The heartbreak you were spared. All of it. Hidden acts of love. Number 5. The removal was making room for what God is bringing. This is the part we rarely consider. When someone leaves, we focus on the leaving, but God is focused on the arrival. Every exit in your life is making space for an entrance. The relationship that ended is room being cleared for the relationship God is preparing. The friendship that faded is soil being tilled for the friendship that will remain. The absence you feel is not a void, it's a vacancy. And God doesn't leave vacancies unfilled. Isaiah 43:19 says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." The wilderness season after a loss feels empty. But God says, "I am doing a new thing." The word new means it hasn't arrived yet, but it's coming. The enemy wants you to fill the empty space with the old, with regret, with what-ifs, with reaching back to what God has closed. But reaching back to a closed door keeps you from walking through the open one. When God removed certain people from your life, He didn't just take something away, He was making room. Room for new relationships, room for new provision, room for a new season of your life that could not begin until the old one ended. Trust the emptying. It's always the beginning of the filling. Number 6. The ending was actually the beginning of your healing. Some removals are not about the other person at all. They're about you. God removed that person because staying in that relationship was keeping you from healing. Maybe it was codependency. Maybe it was idolatry. Maybe you had made that person your source of peace, your source of worth, your source of joy, and God needed to be your source again. And He loves you too much to let anyone take His place in your heart. Exodus 23 says, "You shall have no other gods before me." And sometimes, a relationship becomes a god. It becomes the thing you can't live without, the thing you check first in the morning, the thing your mood depends on. And God, in His mercy, removes it, not to punish you, to heal you. The enemy wants you to interpret the removal as rejection. He wants you to believe that God is punishing you by taking away the person you love. But the truth is the opposite. God was showing you that you are more than the relationship, that your worth is not tied to someone's presence, that you can stand whole, on your own, in Him. The removal wasn't cruelty. It was surgery. It hurt. It left a scar, but it saved your life. And the healing that follows is the beginning of a healthier you, a you that loves from fullness, not from emptiness. And that is a gift to everyone who comes after. The healed you is the best you. Let's bring it all together. Some endings were seasons that finished. Some removals were paths being cleared. Some departures were lessons completed. Some exits were protection you couldn't see. Some losses were room being made, and some goodbyes were the start of your healing. Not every removal is a rejection. Not every ending is a failure. Not every empty chair is a wound. God is the one who orders relationships. He brings people in His timing, and He removes them in His timing. And both are acts of love. The moment you stop asking why and start trusting who, everything begins to shift. Your grief becomes gratitude. Your confusion becomes peace. Your empty space becomes expectancy. The people God removed were never yours to keep. They were His to place and His to move. And the people He brings next will be exactly what your next season needs. You were not abandoned. You were being arranged. And you're not the only one who has walked through this. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who is healing from a loss and needs to hear that God is still working. And in the comments, write these words: I trust your plan. Let that be your prayer today. Jeremiah 29:11 says, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. The plan includes the removals. The plan includes the goodbyes. The plan is still good. So today, friend, release the past, open your hands, trust the God who removes and the God who restores. What He took away was never meant to stay, and what He's bringing is already on its way. Your story is not over. It's being